How interesting. Like lyrium, you say?
Mm-hmm. This table's really cold.
Marble. It's wonderful on hot summer days.
Right. Nothing's happening.
Precisely.
Emmerich, you wanted to see me?
Ah, Rook. If you would be so kind as to step over here. And there we have it. Just as I suspected.
Emotions?
Involving Rook.
Wait, me?
Young love indeed. Come, Manfred. I'm sure they'll want to discuss the implications.
Emmerich?
Everything fine? Emmerich didn't find anything wrong with you.
I'm not sure how to explain.
Take your time.
Emmerich suspected that my abilities could be tied to how I was feeling. Feeling about you. I mean, the special feelings. You know.
The special feelings.
This isn't funny, Rook.
Sorry, I know, it's just how you said. Never mind, what can I do?
Lyrium was the blood of the Titans. If my heart's beating, and my blood's racing around, maybe... I'm sorry.
Do you think you could control it?
It's tied to my emotions. Like the rest of my magic. I'm sure I can learn to control it.
Don't apologize. This isn't your fault, Lace. And we'll handle this the way we handle everything else. Together.
Together.
She felt it all over. Her attraction to the hero, a powerful but properly contained tingle, nearly exquisite. Properly contained. No, sounds bad. Okay, cut the middle line, much more natural.
What are you working on?
Oh! Rook! I didn't see you. What did you hear?
Not sure what it was, but it sounded pretty good.
Oh, really? Well, thank you. Nev found me more serials. I've read them, all of them, multiple times. And I thought maybe I could try it, writing my own, I mean. Not like Varric Tethris, but my own sort of thing. For me, and people like me. Something to focus on, besides Syrian and all of that. And you know, you're also interesting. It helps for inspiration.
Interesting is certainly a word we could use.
But it works. You're fighting ancient gods and everything. And you know the rest. It's impressive. What you've done, I mean, brought everyone together. You're a good person. Really.
Being around good people helps. That's the thing about a team. Everyone brings everyone else up.
That's what they taught me. The veil jumpers, I mean. A team's only as good as its weakest link, so you make them stronger. Like you do, with all of us. So, keep being that kind of person. One everyone can look up to. Anyways, thanks, Rook. I'll talk to you later. Gotta finish this scene.
No. I had to kill a man once who did blood magic on nugs. 100 little pigs with hands came after me. All together in one big writhing ball. Have you ever tried to stab a ball of angry nugs? That was a bad job.
I've got a better one. You know what the Wandering Hills are named for? It's a monster. Big heap of red tentacles that crawls around, devouring everything in its path. The damn thing was a hillside, the eyes of a village. You try fighting a hill with a sword sometime.
How did you kill it?
Lamp oil. Everything stank of burnt tentacles for miles after.
It's good to see the two of you getting along.
Of course we're getting along. We're professionals.
We're talking business, Rook. Grab a seat.
Is anyone else hungry? Maybe I should cook something.
What about you, Rook? What's the worst job you've ever been on?
Nevin Harding didn't tell you about our hunt for Solus, then?
They don't tell it the way you would.
I mean, it ended with the Elven God of Lies in my head. Is that enough to win the worst job contest?
You joining us, then?
Fine. I'll cook something, if Rook's staying.
Maybe just for a minute.
Rook's story first. Then Lucanus owes me one about this contract on a Bronto.
Mierda. That Bronto.
Lucanus must be hurting. Escaping his prison and then returning home only to see it blighted. At least Minrathous will be fine. Well, as fine as Minrathous gets.
Hey, that blood mage controlling people in your neighborhood?
Alia, what about her?
Why doesn't anybody in charge stop her?
Because she hasn't left Docktown. It's poor, doesn't have a lot of mages, so the people in power don't care.
That's Vashida.
Not news to me.
Greetings once more.
Lucas, do the implications of your work never trouble you?
Everyone on this team has killed before. I'm hardly unique.
Yes, of course. But in your case, it's a profession, rather than an act of necessity.
I'm not sure the Venatori or the Antam see the distinction as you do.
We need to close it. Hate to be on their side.
Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
That must have been frustrating.
He knows he's not supposed to play in the horticulture. Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
Ah, there's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Lich. That's Old Tavine for corpse, isn't it?
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
You think that's good?
I was their first living petitioner in some time. The Liches are the great protectors of the necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
That's great for a necromancer, right?
It is a singular opportunity.
Good?
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to?
No, mercifully, that falls to another Watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
That's reasonable. Lots of people are afraid of dying.
Is it? When it keeps me from what I most desire? Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos? She's a lich.
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So, what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkos was shouting so much.
No, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness, or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Of course.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you.
The Morn Watchers sure do love their flowers, don't they?
Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleonora Volkarin. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim, early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course. The choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
calm. Looks like the candles worked.
I see some of my colleagues have begun the renewal of the vows.
Drag me to that, living or otherwise.
They're close.
Stay in cover.
Hi again.
Well met.
We bid you welcome.
A fine day. Good day. Greetings once more. Welcome again.
Yes. You live.
Well met.
Is that Zara Renata? This place isn't big enough to keep every corpse you guys find.
Zara spoke to Ilario before she died. Emmerich can talk to the dead. I have to know.
I wouldn't have offered my skills if I thought it was unsafe. Let flame rekindle your sight. Let breath and light rise again. Tell us about Ilario della Morte.
Martyrs. He fooled us both.
Elaborate.
You took what he wanted most in this world. More than coin, pleasure, family.
The title of First Talon.
Ilario had you imprisoned and tortured for a promotion.
The job was to kill you. But this one doesn't waste those with potential.
Yeah, that's not any better.
And Katerina? Did Ilario hire you to kill her?
No.
Ilario used blood magic to control spite. How? He's not a mage.
Our risen god gives many gifts.
Elganon. Ilario's working with Elganon.
Her spirit's strong. Haste would be appreciated.
Let her go. We've heard enough.
I'm sorry, Lucanus.
So am I.
What are you going to do?
Take away everything from him.
I heard elves sometimes see magic stuff differently. What's the sky look like to you?
It's, colorful? I don't really know how to describe it.
Huh. Maybe the same.
I heard from Cal Sharrock about the missing dwarves. Stalguard's one of them. I have to go help. They sent me maps of the area where the missing were last seen. It's a start. You're coming to help, right?
I promised I would.
I'm ready to go whenever you are. Let's not wait too long.
Too much sky. That's what it even is.
Hey, Rook. Come to stare into the fire. I've heard that helps people think. Can't say I've had luck with it.
We are still a long way from reclaiming Treviso, but in secret, in its heart, the city celebrates. The dragon that left us blighted is gone, and the Undam's time will follow.
There's that haunting mine I mentioned. The Veilguard.
Don't ask me why.
I took care of that Fade Explorer.
We are greatly indebted.
He can now rest for a time.
Our collegial allies in the Fade have informed us of several undead banding together.
They have begun to seek blood. Your new seals hold.
Good.
The voices again.
But surely the knowledge you gained.
My champions offered themselves willingly. More works of precision laid low before finding their full potential.
You will have new subjects in recompense, whatever you wish.
Rook's Titan Pretender? But there are many things I could do with one so tied to the stone.
Inspired. Consider it done.
Ignore them. We're taking these bastards down before they ever get the chance.
Places between.
Nev, when we met, you didn't trust me.
It wasn't personal.
It was just good sense. I felt the same.
I knew it.
We need to close it! End it!
Please, go on.
It wasn't personal.
It was just good sense. I felt the same.
I knew it.
But I changed my mind.
Does this mean you trust me less, or you've fallen for my schemes?
Maybe I changed it too quickly.
Probably. But I changed mine, too. Can't get along.
Save a little for the rest of us, Rook.
There's a haunting.
We're under fire. Look out!
The rat race!
We finished off a whole group of skeletons.
Interesting that they banded together.
It availed them not.